Hey people, you're back with Bunky. I got another platinum gameplay for you. Hopefully this one doesn't mess up. I don't know what killed the frame rate of the last recording, I really don't. I'm guessing my laptop didn't have enough power during it, so the CPU's performance was low. Although the Roxio game capture card is prone to fuck-ups of that nature. This video was recorded on the same day, but much earlier, so fingers crossed. I'm showing you the Krogan Shaman again, and my new build for him. It's actually a build I did discuss at great length in the original guide I did for the character. But now I've decided that that is what I want to do with this guy now. I'm not a fan of the Krogan Shaman, to be honest. His moveset is pretty redundant. Well, his moveset was a pretty redundant addition to the game. I said, it's like I said before, you're best focusing on the fact that he's a Krogan kit, so this gives you a nice melee or weapon options in the Adept class. Originally I went with the melee option because it was fun, it was fun enough, but it struck me while I was doing the commentary for that video that really was redundant, because I'm already doing the same thing with the good old Krogan soldier. So to better distinguish this character and give it more of a reason to be picked up and played, I'm going to go ahead and rock the weapons build now. Something Krogan are really good at being. They are good at being weapons build, but I was actually yet to capitalize on that fact. So here it is. It's because it's all about playing the character's individual strengths for a series of effective and unique experiences. That's what you can get out of this game. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do here. And this is definitely effective, guys. This build will destroy bosses because it does so much armor damage, and it tanks against those kind of targets, which is why I figured a platinum gameplay would be the best way to prove that. This is me and Dom with a couple of pugs again. We're doing a unknown white game. We got Cerberus again, but Platinum is going to deliver us all the big bosses, so you're gonna see me take them all down. We got a Paladin and a Geth Engineer on board, which is actually going to fuck up what I'm trying to do here a bit. I wish people wouldn't bring tech to biotic lobbies or vice versa, but what are you gonna do? Because when you do that, you're just spending the game then just cancelling out each other's attacks. It's really annoying, but that's what the team guides will be for. We can get that all cleared up, hopefully. Dom is the Geth Infiltrator again. He's rocking a Black Widow and Hurricane 10, so he's going to be turning out some nice damage. And you got me here with the Typhoon. I have been unable to unlock the Venom shotgun, but I have been getting a lot of Saber and Typhoon upgrades. Annoyingly, because neither gun I actually particularly like, to be honest. The Saber's too slow for my liking, and the Typhoon's really clumsy. Both guns I find just real clunky. But fuck it, the store gods have spoken, and they clearly want me to start using at least one of these two guns here. So that's what I'm going to be doing with this build from now on. Okay. Now, I think everyone will always compare the Typhoon and the Particle Rifle, as they're both big, ultra-rare, ramp-up assault rifles, and within that comparison, I will always side with the Particle Rifle, to be perfectly honest. It's just so much more accessible and easy to use, for more or less the same effect. The two guns are a lot like massive SMGs. They really are. Each bullet they shoot doesn't do much damage, but they stream them out at such an incredible rate of fire that the damage does get done very quickly. And then the Particle Rifle is like pinpoint accurate, which is a major advantage over other SMGs like guns, but it has limited range. But you can forgive it because the kick and spread of all the other, of any other kind of SMG gun would give them about the same range. The Typhoon has a lot of ammo and it ramps up so much faster. I think I'm gonna get hang on, I'm sorry, I'm losing focus here because I think I'm gonna go down in this wave actually. Keep your eye open. There she is. She came in so quick. No one called her out. Didn't see her. She took me out Bwnci style. What are you going to do? Let's talk more about the Typhoon though, because the Typhoon, like I just said, it's got a lot of ammo and it ramps up so much faster. You can potentially do much more damage. You can do the damage with it much quicker, than you would with the Particle Rifle, because you've got to fire off 50 units before that thing ramps up. I don't know how many units you've got to shoot. with the Typhoon, but it's very few. It really is. When it's ramped up, it gets like a 1.5 damage multiplier. It also has like a 50% damage bonus against any type of resistance. So that's you got a damage resistance multiplier of 150% to armor, shields, and barriers. So that's awesome. That is awesome. This actually makes the Typhoon surpass even the Cerberus Harrier in terms of sustained DPS, but you do have to sustain it. It also needs the right mods and ammo bonuses, though. Okay, you can severely reduce the effectiveness of this gun without them. See, like all SMGs, armor can be your worst enemy, because it will take 15 points off every shot in bronze, 30 on silver, and 50 on gold and platinum. Now, if you think about how many times you hit an armored target with these guns, you can imagine how much that adds up, okay? Just how much that adds up. Say we can shoot like 10 bullets a second. That's 500 damage you've lost in that second. This is what I mean. This is what I meant at the start of the series when I said armor builds up a resistance to guns with a high rate of fire. It's because that damage reduction multiplies as fast as you can shoot. So without finding an appropriate way of ignoring that armor mitigation, you will lose a ton of damage with a gun like this. But you can see I'm not losing a ton of damage with this gun. I'm going to show you how I did that now, because I'm rocking warp. In case you do want warp, because this is going to weaken armor by up to like 65% if you've got warp rounds 4 on. You go with incendiary. Okay, you can also take advantage of that. You can do something nasty with warp and incendiary rounds. But you can also juggle the 2 explosions like I did in the original guide video, because you can get biotic and fire explosions off, with shockwave and warp both being detonators. See, now armor and drill are fine, they're good weapon build ammunitions, but if you remember what I tried so hard to explain before, you're best stacking armor weakening effects or armor piercing effects in order to ignore the mitigation, because the 2 don't stack together. If you weaken armor first, you will if you weaken armor first, and you will because you have warp, you'll do less piercing. You don't always pierce the base armor damage reduction. You'll pierce whatever damage reduction is left after it's weakened. The armor damage reduction value on platinum is the same as gold. As I said, it's 50. And with warp and warp rounds 4, I can weaken that value down to 5. See, now with the high velocity barrel mod on top of that, I can then only pierce 90% of that new damage reduction value. So rather than have a measly 0.5 damage increase per shot, I can actually switch out the high velocity barrel for an extended barrel for the 25% damage increase and get a lot more, just get a lot more out of every bullet. Not to mention that makes us lighter, so we can warp everything and really get the damage done. Because you know how warp works, right? Warp rounds work with biotically primed targets. If you don't, I'm going to get into that in a moment. Let me just, while I'm in the area, let me tell you about the other equipment I recommend you use, okay? For your armor bonus, I do recommend you take something like the Cyclonic, okay, and just tank it. Really do. You can go with the Adrenaline module, okay? That's going to help with your limited mobility as a Krogan. Because like you saw with that Phantom, she just slipped under me. I was unable to, I couldn't do, as soon as I got knocked to the side, I wasn't able to just do like a combat roll out the way. I needed to turn my ass around and run, and I couldn't do it in time. So the Adrenaline module is good for that. You can go ahead and rock that. You might also want to rock this Stabilization module, okay? You might want to do that, because that will help you handle the Typhoon's incredible kicking and waving. There's the power efficiency, okay, so you can just get warp out more frequently, and, with warp out you can just do more damage. But there's also the power amplifier as well. This will also help you do more damage, but you'll always kind of be better off doing your damage through your weapon. For the gear, okay, I do recommend you take like an assault rifle rail lamp or the appropriate weapon damage. The assault loadout would be good, okay, that gives you weapon damage, but also gives you extra thermal clips, especially when you're playing in platinum. Ammo is a real issue, okay, so it's good that that wouldn't be a bad choice, just so you can, you got better track. You'll just have an easier time keeping your gun loaded, to be honest. It's that simple. I don't know why I try to complicate it all the time. Barrage upgrade would be another good choice, okay. That increases your clips capacity, and it also gives you that extra stability. To help with the kick and stuff again. But there's also the thermal clip storage for that, okay? That will increase your clip capacity, whereas the assault loadout actually gives you extra thermal clips, so you can just eat a thermal clip and get your full gun reloaded again. These ones will actually just make it so you've got more spare ammo. So it's all good stuff there. Your other choices will be shield options, okay, so you can just have more tankage on the field there. You can also go with structural ergonomics here, get some more recharge speed, because when you're going to be like a biotic gunner, you really want to get your power, you really want to get your sort of priming done so that you can really do some real nice damage. I hope you saw the Valkyrie video, but if not, if you're still new to the game and you haven't got all these kind of cool equipments and stuff, you can go ahead and rock some sort of biotic or power damage bonuses, because you can actually do some nice power damage with this guy. It is surprisingly good power damage. Now I will show you the build at the end of the video. That is, I have recorded that. You're going to see me after we come out of the game. You're going to see me in the lobby. I'm just going to jump straight into the build and show you the weapon and everything. But it is what I told you about before, okay? In the original Krogan Shaman video guide, warp is detonate, expose, and pierce. So we're weakening armor by 25% with that, and we just do more damage overall with it as well, okay? Because I think we increase weapon and power damage to all targets hit with warp by 15%. So it's all really good stuff like that. We just do turn out a lot of damage. It also does extra damage to armor and barriers, help you take them down. What else is there? Oh yeah, Shockwave. Shockwave's still there with Radius and Detonate. So we can bomb those bosses too. That's something you'll see me do. It's like the first thing I'll do is I'll warp my target and I'll just start gunning it. As soon as the recharge speed, if the boss is still standing, the next thing coming at it is going to be a Shockwave and get the Biotic Explosion off. And that's going to just do a nice bit of damage on top of the armor or barriers and stuff. And then next one's going to be Warp again if they're still going after another recharge speed. They've been... Because I'm ploughing them with the Typhoon the whole time, my powers are recharging, so if they're still going, they get hit with Warp again. It won't be long then. They will be going down. For the Krogan Berserker. Krogan Berserker. I'm just trying to remember what they called his passives. They've given them stupid names, don't they? I go with its weapon damage, power damage, weapon damage, because that's what we're doing here, guys. That's just how we're doing our damage. It's through the weapon. The headshot evolution is good, but you'll probably struggle to land those with a Typhoon. As I've said, it kicks and waves all over the place. You can actually do good damage with our powers, and we can just sort of stack them in there, okay, while we're ploughing them with the Typhoon gun. It's like our warp is doing damage over time. Also, if you prime an explosion with stronger attacks, the explosion's stronger as well, so it's all good stuff there. It's not a bad idea to have a power focus in there somewhere, but, your main focus should always be about the weapon. What else is there? Oh yeah, it's only 3 ranks in Rage. That's his health, but that already gives us 1,350 health and barriers, okay? But we have got barrier on, and that barrier is set to barrier strength, power synergy, see, good power damage, and we got power recharge for the final evolution. You want that recharge because you want to get warp out frequently enough. You won't get warp out frequently enough otherwise, even because there's a recharge penalty when you got barrier on, so you do, and the Typhoon is heavy, okay? It's the heaviest assault rifle. I think the only thing heavier than it is that damn Spitfire that I showed you in the last video. So yeah, you definitely want that evolution, but with the rest of the barrier is giving us a 30% damage reduction with that, and plus the Typhoon actually gives a small defensive bonus, due to the little shield mount it's got. Okay, I think it's headshot protection when you're in cover, but the point is we're still tanky, guys. We are really tanky. You see me. This is platinum, and the enemies don't hit any harder than this difficulty, and I'm still able to just take a ton of punishment with this guy. This is why we can afford to rock something like the Typhoon. Let me give you some weapon options, because I go with the Typhoon for this. I got my reasons. I'll get more into it in a second, but you can go ahead and go with the particle rifle, because it is great, the particle rifle. Because you can afford to just ramp up a gun and just stand out there and churn out the damage, okay? But you can just hit hard. Go with something like the Harrier, the Lancer. You can go with a Striker, actually, if you want to go back to ramp-up assault rifles, but lower difficulties, okay? Gold and lower. I wouldn't bring the Striker to platinum at all. Because, even projectile weapons can still get the warp rounds bonuses. Okay, so we're still warping, you can still strike them, you can still stand up there, ramp it up. It's Krogan as well, the Striker as well, so, bit of role-playing for you. But no, SMGs will work, okay? Like the Hurricane. If you saw the N7 Fury video, you saw me just doing a ton of weapon damage, and I don't think I spec for any on her. I don't. I'm pretty sure I don't. It's been a while. It's been a while since I played her. But yeah, it's just because of the whole biotically primed target and the warp rounds. Okay, you just do a ton of damage with that. So yeah, and the fact that you can shoot so fast is you'll just get the damage out that quick as well. So you know, the Hurricane, the Tempest is good. Even the Blood Pack Punisher. Okay, that's going to help you just eat through the bosses and stuff. It does some nice armor damage, that gun. You know, you can just hit hard though with something like the Wraith. Okay. And play it more like my Valkyrie, okay? My Valkyrie was all about rocking biotically primed targets with warp rounds. Sorry, I got lost there. That was some Krogan medical care there. Saw a friend in trouble, so I'm going to blow up the room, and then I'm going to smash up the target who thinks he can step on my buddy. I'm going to pick him up. That's Krogan healthcare right there. But no, you could, because the Valkyrie was all about just running up with the annihilation field again, getting the target primed and just smashing them with a hard-hitting gun with the warp rounds on. So you know, something like the Wraith, the Raider, which is what I actually used on it, the Crusader, again, the Claymore, oh amazing, the Riga, lol, 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 lol. You can just do stupid damage with the Riga. Okay, you can afford to just really get in there and tank, and if you went with the incendiary rounds as well, you could be very naughty. But you know, you can go with the Piranha still, like I had on him originally. See, that's simply because warp rounds with biotically primed targets doubles the damage. So it's all good. Anything you can hit hard with, you can effectively hit twice as hard with now, with a character like this. But you should take advantage of being a Krogan. Okay, they're big, durable bastards, especially when they're rocking barrier. So you can afford to just put yourself out there and give as good as you get. You also have that Krogan stagger immunity to frontal assaults, okay? In that 180 degrees you're staring down, you're an immovable object, okay? So you can, you know, ramp-up weapons like the Typhoon that most kids would struggle to keep going, you can absolutely hold your ground with and just churn out some great damage. And that's what I do with the Krogan Shaman now. This is it's pretty cool, pretty badass, and it's very effective. Because this is, you know, this is what I like to do, and this is what I actually recommend you do to get the most out of the game. Okay, guys, it's like all the characters have got different strengths, even if they're, you know, even if it doesn't look like they do in their move sets and stuff like that, or the fact that they're the same race and all that kind of stuff. See now, look, I'm getting hit in the back here. That will stagger a Krogan. The rocket troopers shooting me and meleeing me in the back. That's Krogan stagger. But if that Atlas fires a missile in my face, I'm just going to stand there. I'm still going to be shooting at full ramp up. So yeah, this is what you can do with a Krogan. This is what I mean about taking advantage of the race's strengths and the power's strengths and stuff. Because, you know, Krogan are tough. Krogan are tough as hell. So, you know, they just eat damage. They got the stagger immunity, so they can just afford to just be out there, put it out, give as good as they get. You know, I'm just saying the same thing, but you know, this is what you can do with a Krogan Shaman. He's a Krogan Adept. That's what he is. So you know, you've basically got all the good stuff of Krogan, with some sort of biotic advantages as well. Because with the Krogan Soldier, now with him. Well, the Krogan soldiers nowadays, because of how accessible fire explosions and stuff are, you can absolutely be a power build with the Krogan soldier. You can get fire explosions off real quick and easy and do a lot of damage. But before, you know, it was always just about, you know, you're a Krogan, so you're going to melee or you're going to shoot with him, because he can just afford to just be in the enemy's face and just put out some good weapon damage, or, you know, put out some good melee damage. The Krogan melee is cool. It's a lot of fun. You know, so that's what you can do. But this is a Krogan with biotic. So what you can do with this guy is you can biotically prime targets. You can get some biotic explosions out. But most importantly, with biotically prime targets means you can really take advantage of warp rounds and do a lot of damage, a lot of weapon damage with a Krogan. So, you know, that's the truth to the Krogan Shaman. Okay, not very interesting on the surface, but you know, you dig a little deeper and you're going to find that there's actually a lot, you know, there's more options with the Krogan Shaman than you would expect. If you think you're just about being a power class, you know, if you're thinking of just being an adept, the Krogan Shaman is really kind of crap, actually. He's not a very interesting adept, but he is an interesting Krogan. So, you know, that's the approach I recommend you take. Because, you know, because you got to remember, I'm not playing with phantoms, go away. This is the guys I can just stand out and take out now. I'm going to take out the Atli. Is that plural for atlases? That's what me and Dom have decided. That's plural for atlases now. Because with most adepts, that's that's their thing. They do a lot of power damage, but they cannot take it, and they kind of need that power damage focus. But with the Krogan, he's tough and he can punch and stuff like that. So go ahead and do that, and just remember that you got biotics in there to back up everything you're doing. So that's the Krogan Shaman's weapon build. That's what I'm doing with him now. I hope you like what you see. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. We're on extraction. Now we're going to wrap up. Well, the dragoons are shocking sometimes. They're just shocking damage those things can do. But yeah, you go ahead and comment, rate and subscribe if you did enjoy it all. I hope the info I can drop for you as well was useful. If you did go ahead and you comment and you rated and you subscribe for me, I'll go ahead and consider that a birthday present, because it is my birthday tomorrow. Yay! So definitely don't expect another video tomorrow, guys. Or the day after. I got some booze to drink, to be perfectly honest. I'm going to catch up with some friends and go out into that big scary world. But yeah, also this is more platinum gameplay, okay? And I haven't noticed it during this commentary, although I did miss it with the Geth as well. I don't think this video is skipping and jumping all over the place. This should be smooth. You should be getting the full gameplay. You shouldn't just see my Krogan suddenly go on speed or some weird shit like that. This is platinum. This is more taking down the big boys. If this is something you enjoyed watching more than my gold gameplay, go ahead, let me know. But one thing that's been dropped to me is the fact that you probably just like me to mix up the next series, do gold and platinum gameplay. It doesn't need to be one or the other, which is a very fair comment, to be perfectly honest. I suppose if we got builds that are just so good at destroying bosses and stuff, it would kind of be stupid not to do that gameplay on platinum. But otherwise, if it's just sort of fast pace and just a lot of, or if it's a lot of like, you can do a lot more fun stuff with mooks and stuff with the kind of power combinations, we'll probably stick with gold then, so you can just see enemies flying about the place or being turned to ash and all that kind of good stuff. But if we're talking about like powerhouses that just watch us disintegrate bosses, yeah, platinum gameplay. I think that's a really fair comment. However, if you think you've seen enough gold gameplay from the last series and you don't want to see any more, you would prefer that the whole of the next series is in platinum, you need to tell me that now, because I'm kind of steering towards the idea of just mixing it up for the next series. But yeah, that's that. Going through the loading screen now, and I'm going to leave you with a scoreboard, and then at the end of the video there will be the build for you guys to check out. Hope you enjoyed it for the last time. Comment, rate and subscribe. I will catch you in the next video. Take care of yourselves, guys.